again, young man. Thank you very much once again for being here.
No worries.
Hope you enjoyed your lunch.
That was delightful, thank you.
You can see I'm somewhat organised. Look at all these talking points
Oh
here.
no.
For future shows, etc., etc., etc.
I like it, at least we're more organised. Maybe one day we're Instagram famous or internet famous.
Yeah. I don't mean
Facebook
Instagram.
famous. I don't know what we're going for here. YouTube famous.
YouTube famous.
Then
Like, share, subscribe, and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, by the way, welcome to another episode of the Car Cranks. Why do I keep making a funny shape with my mouth when I say Car Cranks? Welcome to another episode of the Car Cranks. Yeah. Okay. So this is Blair,
hey.
and we should know me by now. Yeah, I'm this idiot. So I've got a list of topics here, and I thought maybe what we might do is talk about one that's not on here.
Well, that doesn't help. Well, go on then. I've made a list and we're not talking. Okay, go on.
Your thoughts on electric cars and if they are the future or not.
Well, this is something I've been talking about with my mates recently, so it's good.
Okay.
I'm actually for them
You are?
at the moment, but I can foresee a lot of downsides in the future when we start having to replace batteries and the like. But for a car that you're planning to own for, say, 3 years, absolutely perfect. And if you drive to work and back every day, you'll see savings.
Yep.
And they're pretty quick too.
Yeah. I think that's the thing where, for a lot of people, the fact that they're not paying for money for fuel and, look, short-term proposition, yes. Long-term, I don't know.
I haven't done the necessary research, but do you know how much it costs to produce an electric car versus a petrol car?
As in to manufacture it and stuff like that.
And ship and all that stuff. Because I remember someone quoted me a few years ago that it was more expensive to do that and worse for the environment because you're shipping parts from all over in. But wouldn't that be the same with your modern petrol car where you get things made in China and then you export to America and it gets assembled and all those things?
I think the big thing that people keep coming back to is the whole lithium mining thing.
That's
how
going gangbusters.
dirty and expensive that is. You know, and the fact that the cars, they get shipped so far around the globe just to be made and stuff like that, that if you take into account all of the emissions from all of the vehicles that they're transported on and stuff like that, and the emissions involved in creating them in the first place, all the componentry and stuff, they end up being worse,
Well,
objectively.
have to be worked out. Haven't done the legwork on this, haven't read any papers, but potentially. And then what happens when everyone's doing electric cars and the Western Power's like, oh, I can't support this on our grid.
Yeah, well, there's
We're
that.
jacking the prices up. You're like, well, shit, that's not gone well.
No. I think that's the thing. I suppose to the end user, an electric car makes sense. But if you were being truly environmentally conscious, you would look at it and think, objectively, it's not any better. Not, at least initially anyway.
Yeah, like I said, we have to do the legwork.
Yeah.
But potentially. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. But then if you want to be truly, truly environmentally conscious, you find yourself a house that's close enough to work that you can ride a bike or walk, and then you just don't travel anywhere, and then eat local and all that stuff, and then reduce your carbon footprint down to, the size of a toddler's.
Yeah. So, would you do an electric car?
If I was working in Perth,
Yeah.
I'd think about it, but I would probably strongly consider public transport and alternatives before I went to the electric car. It depends on what I was doing. If I was commuting every day for work and it was stuck in traffic all the time, then yeah, I think I would.
Yeah.
But if there was also the chance to stop on the train, I'd probably do that instead. And then when I'm home from work, normally, I don't see the point because I barely drive anyway.
Yeah. Well, I think the strong case for an electric car would be somewhere where you're not that far away from where you work and the public transport is no good for that area, maybe.
Yeah.
I guess. That's what I would consider. Or if you knew that you were doing short trips throughout the day. Like, for example, for my work, I would consider it because most of my travel time is sort of within 10 to 15 minutes per trip.
Yeah.
And if you had, say, a 200 kilometre range, I probably wouldn't touch it. I'd maybe do half that.
That's great.
So that would work, I think. But the thing for me is the volume of pricing that's associated with them at the moment. Like I had a look the other day. The cheapest car you can buy, electric car, realistically, is like a Nissan Leaf, and the old one with the smaller battery, which give you about 120 k's in range, 15 grand.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. But then you think about what you can buy for 15 grand. That's a real car.
We were just driving your dad's Honda Accord, and you were
Yes.
saying that's about 15 grand.
Yep.
And that's a lot of car.
It's a lot of car for 15 grand. It's 2013 Honda Accord. Maybe I'll take a photo and insert it. Maybe.
Buy now.
Buy it now.
Buy now.
Let me sort a few things out on it first. Nothing egregious or major, just a few little things that I'm not happy with before it gets sold. Anywho.
Buy later.
Yeah. No, I think you make a strong case there where it's a lot of car for the money. And that the money thing comes back to what could you buy for the amount of money that you're spending is the big thing, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, my mate and I were looking the other day because we were curious. Because his sister-in-law just bought a Tesla.
Right.
And
He wanted to know what it was, how much it costs.
It's a lot of car, Tesla 3.
Yeah.
Even
Oh, right, okay.
That's not the top of the range, but still a Tesla, right?
Well, you can get them with the ludicrous mode. You know how you tell with Teslas? If it's got the dual motor, it's more performance as the badge, and if it's got an underline, it's got a line underneath the badge, that means it's got ludicrous mode, which means it's the fast one. Yep.
That's very cool. I didn't know
I studied that because I was curious to know, because obviously you're going to see more and more Teslas on the road, and I just thought, well, if we're going to see these cars, I want to know what it is. Like, I want to know what someone has sprung for in terms of money and value and capability, sort of thing.
Maybe if you had a business and you're part of your business involved going to see clients quite a lot.
Yeah.
And you wrote the car off to your business and you went and drove quite a lot.
Yep.
And left the car at work charging overnight.
Yep.
That makes a lot of sense.
If you could charge it at work and if you could charge it at home,
Yeah.
if you had like a dedicated parking spot that you could effectively plug it in and it would have, you know, enough charge to get you somewhere and back without too much of a problem, then yes, it would make sense.
So I think, yes, electric cars have a place in this world, but not for me yet. How about yourself?
I think, like I said before, it does make a strong case for me because the short trips that I do.
No, when you go and service the ladies.
Yeah.
Here's a gigolo.
With this face and this, no, I like men. No, kidding. Married to a woman, to a woman that is, if I can use my words. Yes, yeah. Shut up. No, I fix computers in people's houses or call outs and stuff like that, and not like that. Although I have been propositioned by some old ladies. Let's not get into that right now. So he's a very nice young man.
Very strong.
Yeah. Anywho, so no, I would entertain the thought of it, but again, it just comes down to the money. It's a lot of money, and even like the newer Nissan Leafs, which are quite heavily discounted, and you look at the depreciation on these things, and it's quite steep.
That's the scary thing
Very
because
steep.
there's still that fear that people are going to buy one that's 3 years old and it's going to turn into a lemon because the batteries are stuffed.
Well, actually, did you hear recently about the guy who blew his Tesla up?
I saw the headline. I didn't read the article.
Okay, so it was a video.
Yep.
And it was done by the Hydraulic Press channel. Hello, Hydraulic Press channel.
Hello.
This is the channel where they put things in a hydraulic press and just squish everything.
Big fan of the channel.
There you go.
I like watching shit get
So I'm
squished.
going to put a link to it because we're fans, so we'll put a link to it in the description. So with the help of that particular channel, I think it's either someone these guys know or whatever, and he had a bill to replace the batteries in his Tesla. Was like $40,000 equivalent or something like that.
That's the scary thing.
I think it was 40,000, or was it 15,000? Either way, it was a lot of money to replace batteries in a car. I think it was 40,000. Anyway, we'll fact check it. But yeah, so he decided that rather than do that, he just blow it up, and that's exactly what they did. They blew it apart.
Did you get insurance off it, or just gave up?
Don't know. I think he gave up. I think, but you know, the thing is, if the YouTube video gets enough hits, he's going to make his money back. He'll be able to buy another car. It won't matter.
That's true. And then from his point of view, it makes sense. But isn't that wild? And there you go. It's kind of what I was thinking before. It's a scary thought, you know. You buy this car knowing it's got a finite life, and because other people know that, they depreciate.
Well, you know, let's say the car's worth $35,000 and you have to pay $40,000 to replace the batteries. Who in the hell is going to do that?
Yeah,
No one.
Who's going to buy it though?
No.
So the car's not worth 35; it's worth 0.
No, it's worth nothing when you have no means of actually using it.
Yep. So you
Yeah.
have to take everything out and just use like a Flintstone car,
Or put a V8 in it like some other YouTubers have done.
which has been done. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, So we were looking at the Hyundai Iconics?
Oh yeah, yep. Ionic.
Whatever they
Ionic.
are.
I think it's Ionic. Yeah. Anyway.
Something. And the Polestars.
Oh yeah.
And even they're like 100 grand's worth of car. And the Polestar starts at 70, and then if you want anything decent in it, like security, safety, etc., 90,000. If you want dual motors, I think it's 120. It's just...
I think that's the thing, is that we don't really have the support, the infrastructure, or the numbers to have good priced vehicles like that yet.
It's sad though, because it's a big country. Could be useful.
Yeah. We're, similarly sized country, but far more people. I think 90% more population in the United States. They're everywhere. So, they've made a massive push into the car market, as I'm sure you know, and Tesla's everywhere.
They've got the buying power.
They've got the buying power, they've got the infrastructure, they've got the population. Yeah, they've got all that. Whereas here, we're tiny in comparison.
To the land of America where you can buy cheap Porsches. Yeah. Unlike here where you nothing.
I got to say, I'm envious of some of the prices they have there for their cars.
I'd be driving something very interesting if I lived over there. That's for sure.
Well, because you could afford it.
Yeah.
Why, 2?
Porsche. No, it's $5,000.
Porsche for $5,000?
Not a good one.
Not
Probably
a
the
good one at all.
4-cylinder boxer, but
$5,000.
yeah.
I don't know about a $5,000. Well, Boxsters are about $15,000 here. But
no, I mean the boxer engine, the 4-cylinder boxer engines, in some of the really old 911s.
oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, bit.
Should have clarified.
Gotcha. No, I understand now. I understand exactly what you're saying. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, actually, that brings me on to the next point then that I just read on the phone just then. I haven't remembered it. Why do we like crap cars? So we're going from something, upper echelon electric to
down
crap.
to...
What is it? Why do we like crap cars?
It's emotion.
I love crap. I'm frequently on Facebook Marketplace or Gumtree or something like that, looking at cars under $3,000, and
No, I'm guilty
objectively,
as well.
they are shithouse.
But
they're garbage cars.
It's the joy of buying something cheap and knowing it's cheap and then having a lot of fun. It's the cheap thrill for me.
But then I would start spending money on it, fixing it up.
Well, then maybe it's the desire to rescue something.
Maybe.
Maybe you just want to look after it, take it home and cherish it. Maybe sing sweet nothings to it.
I guess.
But I'd do the same. Like my Cruiser, I could have bought a $15,000 one with a good engine. Instead I bought the $5,000 one with needed a bit of TLC. Maybe it's the, what's the word? The perceived bargain. It's the, you think you're getting a good deal because you don't think at that point in time of all the additional costs you're going to incur to fix it and get it to the point where it's usable.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably right there, actually.
And I walk around telling people, well, that's a $5,000 Cruiser. When in reality, it's probably like a $15,000 Cruiser after all the bits I spent and did to it.
Well, it's like, I go back to things like my Crown, which was $1,400 to buy, but after a carby rebuild and painting it and getting it structurally assessed and repaired, and some brakes and some other things, brake master cylinder and all the other bits and pieces and stuff like that, I would say I made a teensy bit of money on it when I sold it for $6,800.
Yeah, but it was a very cool car for $6,800.
I'm not going to flash a photo up with the Crown. You've seen it before. If you're at all interested, then look at a previous video.
I still like the Crown.
Yeah, I do too.
It did a good skid too.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
Lies.
We'll put that video up.
No. No skids. Mate, the only way that turned a tyre is if you hit the accelerator gently. No turning of tyres in that car. Didn't have enough power to get out of its own way. No, it was good. But again, would you call that a crap car though?
No. I think we're talking about the wrong kind of cars here. I think a truly crap car is a car that doesn't have to be cheap. You could buy an expensive car and it could be crap.
I've done that.
Yeah?
Starions.
Well, yeah.
Ugh.
But were they ever a good Starion?
My white one was a good one.
Okay, well, one good one.
One good one.
Okay, fine.
The rest were crap.
About...
Objectively, they were crap. Yeah, the white one, my GSR 5, which is now owned locally by a bloke named Ben. Hi, Ben, if you're watching. How's my car? No, it's yours. You've done more work on it than I ever did, so it's definitely your car now.
Bring it back.
I don't want it back. No, I don't want it back. No, that was
Send
a
us
good
a skid
car.
vid. What?
That was a good car.
Okay, well, I'm more thinking about, I remember your mate bought a Maserati to go track racing.
Justin. Hi, Justin.
Hey, Justin. Sorry, Justin, mate, but that was a crap car.
He'd probably agree with you.
Because, what, cost $40,000 to buy it.
Yep.
Which is still a bit of money for anything. And then...
But not enough, obviously, for a Maserati.
No, went racing with it, and what, blew a turbo up?
I think the turbo was on its way out anyway. Well, it's twin turbo, those things. So it's V8 twin turbo.
Yeah.
3.5 litre V8 with 2 sequential turbos. I think one of them was on its way out anyway. And when he had it all fixed and rebuilt and stuff like that, apparently it was much faster.
Okay, well, how much did that cost him?
Yeah. I shudder to ask.
And did the brakes?
Shudder to think.
How much did that cost
Brakes,
him?
yeah.
Did the suspension, how
But
much that
that's
cost?
Euro though, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
that's all the
but-
expensive Euro stuff that costs that much money.
Even if he'd bought that car not to go track racing, the turbo still would have gone. So then,
Yeah.
objectively, I would say it was a crap car.
I suppose you could make the case for that being a crap car, but we like it.
Still like it. It's
Yep.
still a very cool car.
Yep.
Because cool cars are not crap cars. And not all crap cars are cool cars.
That's an important distinction, I suppose.
Very important. Like, for example, you see the guys over in America, like I was saying, they buy those 4-banger Porsches. Cool car. Very crap, though, because they need all the work. They're
Yep.
going to be rusty. They're a bit shit. But you could probably argue my 60 Series is a crap car because it was full of rust when I bought it. And I've had all the rust cut out.
Look, it might have started that way. It's not a crap car now.
No, it's
and I
good
know
car.
that because, I suppose, and this is the big thing, is that what you've done is you bought perhaps a crap car and you've turned it into a semi-nice car. In your eyes, it's still crap because perhaps there's some stuff that needs doing on it.
Yeah,
But in someone else's eyes, they'd look at it and they'd go, that's really tidy, man. That's nice. That looks good.
true.
So objectively, it looks good. It looks the part and that sort of thing. It does fall short on some things, but that's your desire for the car
And how
rather
much I
than the
care,
car
yeah,
itself, I think. So objectively, perhaps not a crap, because it's got aircon, doesn't it? Got air
Yeah.
conditioning.
Yeah.
It's got power steering.
Yep.
Starts, runs and drives.
Yep.
Does it overheat still?
Only when it's 40 plus days.
Okay.
So, yes and no. Not normally.
So I would make a case for saying that is no longer a crap car. That is a objectively good car that still needs just a bit of work.
Okay. How about when those SsangYongs, or what do you call them? What are they? Great Wall cars came out. I would say, even from brand new off the lot, they were all crap cars.
If you're going to talk about an example of a crap car that I don't like, it's those.
Yes.
So
So do we like those?
SsangYong, Great Wall, Geely, LDV or
Yep.
SAIC or whatever they are
Yep.
with the vans and stuff. Cherry.
Yep. Havel.
Ugh. Thumbs down.
Sorry, guys.
Thumbs down. Look, if you've got one of those cars, you know how crap it is.
And you shouldn't be on this channel. Or actually, stay on the channel for better ideas on what to buy next.
Not something from China.
Stop buying Havels. They're shit.
Yep.
Although you could buy one that looked like the RAV4 for like $9,000 drive
The Haval or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Or, I've just thought of a crap car that you might like, Jay.
What's that, mate?
Jeep.
Yeah.
They're all objectively crap. In America, they all rust out. And there's only one guy in America who actually likes them, that David Tracy guy off Jalopnik.
Right, okay.
But I think in Australia, they're just heavy, thirsty cars that break a lot.
But mine didn't break a lot.
No, but you had a good one. A mate of mine had one and it broke a lot. He ended up selling it not running.
Yeah, okay. Look, and this is the thing, I think. Time is not kind to some cars, and they objectively become crap over time.
They just fall apart.
Yep. And I
Like
think
80s Jags.
70s Jags.
70s Jags, sorry.
Yeah, both. All of them. Yes, I think so. Look, in defense of my Jeep, it was quite cheap.
Yep.
I didn't spend a whole lot on it. I think probably the most expensive thing I did was the radiator, because I bought an actual copper radiator for it, which was as expensive as the plastic one. And I thought the coppers are going to do a better job. Valuated, it was $500. but it was $500 installed.
That's not bad.
So not bad, really. And I sold it for what I paid for the car. Maintenance and replacement parts notwithstanding, of course. So,
Yeah, okay.
is it crap? Well, if it still runs, no. If it doesn't run anymore, yes. But it looked good. Like the paint was good. There was no real rust anywhere. That car was a decent car, which is why I bought it. I think the engine was a bit tired though, but especially by the time I was finished with it. But
Still worked.
Yeah, it still worked. That was the thing. I sold it as a running and driving car. It sounded really good too. Big straight six, put an exhaust on it. It just had a nice rumble, just a nice note. It was good. I liked it.
You should buy another one.
No.
Come forward driving. We'll go out.
Do you know, I would buy another one, but I have no need for a four-wheel drive.
Fair enough.
Because cars everywhere right now. Yeah.
I've just thought of 2 crap cars I've owned. And one of them would have been objectively crap, but it was actually a good car. It was that CE Lancer I bought, the 4-door. So to set the scene, guys, I was working for a startup company a few years back, and I was getting paid not so much. And so I really needed a car just to run around, so a mate of mine
That's right.
used to run a tow truck business, not a mate anymore.
That guy. Yep.
Actually, if you're watching this, Josh, I'm coming for you. Another story for another day. Anyway, he had the car. It'd been in the rear, been driven up the back of another car. It was just smashed to fuck. Picked up for $500. This 4-door Lancer still ran. I drove it home as it was. Absolutely fucked. I ended up borrowing a mate's forklift, pulling the front end straight, replacing the radiator, replacing a headlight, and just drove it like that. I used a heat gun on the bumper, popped it out the right direction, made it look alright. And yeah, I drove that car from Perth to Kalgoorlie and back.
Yeah.
Drove it around for years.
Oh, that's right. You did too. I remember
Yep.
that. Was it blue? It was blue, wasn't it?
It's green.
Green. Oh, that bluey.
It was that beautiful green.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
lovely.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
delightful.
yeah, yeah.
I would say that was a crap car, but I liked it a lot because it kept surprising me with how well it worked.
I think, but it's that era though of 90s stuff that was sort of carried over to the 2000s, where it was simple enough that you would never have any complicated problems arising with with its age or whatever, but it was also advanced enough where the computers were advanced enough to be reliable. The fuel economy was good because the fuel injection would work and it would keep working. It's that 90s sweet spot.
It just worked very well.
Yeah,
And then I put BMW bottle caps on it,
that's right. I remember that.
and they sent out the guards about this far all around, and it was fantastic. The only thing I didn't do was slam it, which was because I didn't get
You got a
around to
photo?
it. No, I really don't.
You haven't got a photo of it?
No, I'm on an old phone and probably lost it in the world. Sorry,
Well,
guys.
I would show you a photo, but there's no photos apparently.
Just picture a green CE Lancer that has been smashed to hell, that someone pulled straight with a forklift. Had one nice shiny headlight, one not so much. To get the bonnet straight, we put the spare on top of the engine, and mate and I jumped up and down either side of the spare tyre just to get the thing to straighten out and then lock up. Locked just fine after that. And yeah, drove around. Ended up swapping it for a Pajero, which was also a crap car, but it brought me great excitement because it wasn't registered anywhere, and yet it had plates from a statesman on it.
That was a crap car.
That was also a crap car.
No, I think that was more crap than the Lancer.
Oh yeah, but it was fun, and it took it forward driving. And I'm pretty certain it had a head gasket gone, but I still drove it from Perth to Kalgoorlie.
Yeah, I think objectively, as far as cars go, that was crap. Would that be the crappiest car you've owned then, that Lancer, you think?
The Lancer or the Pajero?
The Pajero.
Ooh.
Like Merc projects notwithstanding.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a car that is...
Are we talking about just cars or motorcycles too?
No, cars.
Okay,
Cars,
then I
cars.
think it was probably the crappiest car I've ever owned.
You brought up motorcycles, why?
Because I had a motorcycle I used to ride to work every day that had been down twice, and it wasn't quite so straight when you looked at it, and it didn't have a rear brake because the rear set got knocked off in one of the crashes, and I used to just ride it anyway, and I just jammed a bit of rod in, so I had somewhere to rest my foot, and I rode that for about 12 months. But the best thing about it, because it looked so shit, everyone avoided me like the plague. People would see me coming and they'd be like, it's like the party of the seas. It was fantastic.
Oh my God.
And I was still wearing the gear I was in when I came down, so my jean knees was like blown out, and the jacket's pulled, and it was just, you look rough as guts, but That was a good bike. You didn't need rear brakes on bikes anyway, and ask anyone, they'll tell you.
Most of the time, no.
Yeah, there you go.
Most of the time.
The rest of the time you got gears, it's all good. But yeah, no, I think those two Lancers I owned, the green one and the silver one, which got the engine from the green one in the end.
That's right, yeah.
They two crap cars became one good car, and I sold it for like $2,500.
Yeah, right, okay. Yeah, that was good. Look, some people don't like Lancers. I don't have a problem with them. I think Mitsubishi had this reputation, and it was not entirely undeserved, where they were the cheaper Japanese car and perhaps the not as good quality Japanese car, but by the same token, it also made them simpler. Like a clutch change on a Lancer, easy. Clutch change on a Pulsar, no.
It's the car you buy when you couldn't quite afford a Honda.
Yep.
But they were still good cars, and I really enjoyed mine. But they were, on paper, crap.
Well, we know someone with a crap Mitsubishi.
Yeah, and he loves it. Hey, Jingy.
Hey, Jingy. but see, I will always have a soft spot for those things, though. Mitsubishi RVR.
Oh, yeah.
I'll flash a photo now.
With the full cyborg body kit. Absolutely love it.
Well, yeah, Hypersports gear, so that's all factory.
Yeah.
They're a bizarre-looking thing.
Very cool.
They are a bizarre-looking thing, those things.
It's like someone drew an egg and then added body kit to it.
Objectively a crap car.
Is it? Oh, actually, he's had dramas. Yeah, objectively a crap car.
But, once fixed, good car.
Very good car.
Good car. So, Evo 3 running gear, in case you're not familiar, basically it's a Lancer Evolution 3 running gear and chassis with like this Nimbus body, I guess you'd call it, a Mitsubishi Nimbus body on it, with like complete with single sliding door on the passenger side and sliding seats on the inside, and they're a bizarre car. They're just weird, but objectively cool.
I would own one.
I nearly did. I
remember when they were dirt cheap for a while, I nearly bought one just to see what they were like. Maybe I should have.
Yeah, they got down to about $6 or $7 I think it was at the time. Now they're way back up there again because people have worked out that you can make these things actually quite fast. And because they're rare, they become, more of the whole JDM, it's worth lots of money and stuff. Yeah, okay.
Someone's taken a donkey and stuck a horn on its head. Now it's a unicorn. Still a donkey, mate.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. So, yeah, crap cars, just a giggle.
That's it. I think for a while there, I used to just buy cars and make me laugh. And if they made me laugh, I'd own it. And that involves a lot of crap cars because I liked that reaction when people saw it and think, are you driving that Porsche? And you're like, yeah, look at it. It's been in a crash.
Yep.
No airbags went off, so it's a win.
Well, Bruce, who was here for the previous 2 episodes, his collection, and if you go back and you watch that episode...
I did see you were cheating on me.
No, his collection of cars, you go back and you watch you look at all the photos and stuff. My God, he's got some stuff in there. In fact, actually, he put one of his crap cars up for sale. And objectively, it's a crap car, but it actually should be a good car. 84 Prelude.
That is cool. Another one's the digital dash?
Yes, with pop-up headlights.
Oh, I like
it's
those.
the first gen with pop-up headlights.
Yeah.
So, objectively not crap, but this one is crap. $300. That tells you as to perhaps the condition
what's
of it and
wrong with
stuff. Everything.
Okay.
I don't even think it runs. The interior's toast, and yeah, it's a complete mess.
And of course, I want to buy it now. Thank you. We'll talk later. I just thought of another crap car.
Go on.
RX-8.
Okay.
Contentious.
It is. I think because comparatively, they're not crap because of the quality. I think they're crap because people don't want to pay to fix them. Because of the whole rotary engine thing, needs a rebuild. No one wants to spend the money, so the cars get sold cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper until you can buy one for $2,000.
Yep, looking decent.
Yep, looking decent, but with the engine gone.
Doesn't start again when it's hot. It's a really weird issue. Don't know what's going on, man.
Yeah. It's 'cause-
Apex seals.
Yes. Oh, my Apex seal. Yeah.
But
It's a shame because I actually quite like those cars.
maybe Mazda fell over by not offering rebuilds as part of their servicing.
Can you imagine how much that would cost though?
Yeah. Maybe they were too scared to offer it. When you get to like $200,000 and 200,000 Ks in your logbook, and they're like, "Time to rebuild your engine."
No, RX-8's got 200,000 Ks on it.
Sorry, 100,000 Ks. And they go pop.
Sorry, RX-8 owners. I mean, no disrespect when I say that, but if your car's got more than 200,000 Ks, please let us know.
Please
I'd
hit
be
us up.
curious
I would love to know.
In fact, I'd like to come and see it.
And what kind of engine is it? And why did you go LS? Which LS did you go?
Which LS? Yes. Or where did you buy? What from which Toyota did you steal the 1J from?
Yeah.
So it's a shame. I mean, I did dodge a bullet myself because Sasha, my wife, she really wanted an RX-8, and I went, and she had her heart set on this 2003 because I think it was after 2008 that they're better.
Okay.
Like the actual engines are better and stuff like that. Reliability is better and stuff.
They stopped blowing them up.
Well, maybe just less frequently.
Okay.
Not as often, maybe. Don't know. But yeah, the earlier cars, they're the ones you always see for sale. They're the ones that are very cheap.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because the rest of the car is probably really good. It's just that engine. And yeah, I don't know. It's almost an exercise in futility or perceived faith in something that you know will fail. I mean, I nearly bought an RX-8 when it was new.
That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have it now.
I don't know. There's a lot of... I mean, they're not that hard to rebuild if you know how to go do it.
No, but I think...
So why couldn't you just buy the cheap ones, rebuild the engine, and enjoy them?
I don't know. Maybe it falls into that weird category of cars where people don't think of it as an enthusiast's car. They think of it as more of a general car, maybe because it's the four-door thing or whatever, or because they're a bit sort of quirkier or whatever. And
I think they're really cool.
Look,
I
yeah.
just don't think I think they're underappreciated, but I think they're also a crap car. Because if you don't look after them well enough, you'll blow an Apex seal.
Yep.
In fact, even if you do look after them, but look at it funny one day, you might still do an Apex seal.
When was the last time you saw an RX-8 on the road? It's been a while, hey?
That's a good question. It has been some time.
Yeah.
Maybe they're all parked up waiting for Apex seals.
Now, admittedly, you're not in Perth nearly as much as I am, obviously, driving around and stuff like that. So I saw one the other day, yesterday. Anyway, that day is irrelevant to you, obviously, because you're watching this at any time.
Hopefully in the future.
Yeah.
And we've got a cult following. And I've got a Rolls Royce. That's a crap car, but I still
Rolls-Royce.
like it. Yeah, Rolls Royce.
Like a 1972 Corniche or something like that.
Like the wood
with a
everywhere.
V8 in it.
Yes.
Good Lord.
V12,
Anyway.
thank you very much.
Oy, jeez.
Anyway.
Uh,
So that's why you got to like and subscribe, so I can buy more shit cars. Just on a bigger scale.
yeah, no. I saw one yesterday.
No shit, okay.
Driving around, not
Yep.
smoking,
Looking good.
looking good,
Yeah.
not making any weird noises. It was a red one. It looked clean and tidy. Looked like an earlier car as well. So like a 03, 04, 05 model. Because there were some subtle visual differences between the earlier ones and the later ones. So 08 I think was where the changeover was. And the 08s have got they've got a different front treatment, and some of the indicator lenses look a bit different and stuff on the front. Can't remember exactly all of them, but they had different specs, different specification levels as well. This was just a red one. I think it was like an 03, 04. It looked good. It sounded okay. Wasn't smoky or anything like that. Wasn't being driven particularly hard. It was just driving around.
That's very cool.
So, yeah.
Do you reckon that at some point then they'll become survivor cars and worth a lot of money?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
I think, and see, this is the thing, right? You look at, objectively, if we talk about Japanese cars for a minute, and we talk about these cars that have become icons. Now, objectively, you could say that something like, for example, a 260Z, right, is, I suppose, for lack of a better word, it becomes a bit of an icon, right? Especially the two-seaters, because people look at them and they go, ooh, that looks sexy, and it looks, nice and svelte, and it makes good noises and drives well, and, it doesn't cost a gazillion dollars. But there are some other cars from that era which have not had such a ridiculous absolute surge in price. And it is odd to look at some of these cars where some of them have gone way up, skyrocketing,
Yeah.
and objectively very similar cars have not.
But then you got to consider like volume for sale,
Well,
whether they look interesting, what you can do with them. I'm sure
they
there's a lot
made
of-
so many Z cars though.
Really? They all rusted to death.
Yeah,
That was a shame.
that's the big thing, is that they become valuable because they become scarce.
Yeah.
Not because they're rare.
But then
they
you got
made
RX.
so many of these cars.
That's what I'm kind of getting at. RX-8s. They made a lot of them, but how many is going to survive into 2040?
Maybe. But then, yeah, I don't know.
And considering,
It's a fun game to play to try and pick a future classic,
It
that's
is.
for sure.
and then I'll present you this one back to the first point we were talking about. If the engines are fucked, why don't we just make them all electric? It'd be a potential good chassis for an electric car.
You've just jumped ahead to the next talking point, but that's cool.
Oh, I'm so
that's fine.
sorry.
No, that's fine. Because what I was going to say is that if we talk about stuff that, if we rescue it by electrifying it rather than making a internal combustion engine powered car,
Well, if
we
it was-
make an electric powered car.
If it was cost effective, I would have made one of my Mercs electric. 100% I would have.
Okay. Yep.
Just costed it up, got to about $30,000 while pricing it all up, and then went, no thank you.
30 grand.
30 grand. And that wasn't everything I needed.
Really, that wasn't everything. So how much more do you reckon you would have spent then?
I don't know, possibly another 5
Up
to
to
10
10,
guinea. So
yeah.
it was 30k at the time when I priced it up, maybe about 3 years ago, folks. Got me everything I needed, batteries, motor, module, and I think some of the wiring, but it didn't get in the car. I still had to fabricate mounts, I still had to work out the brakes, would have worked out the heating, worked out my AC if I wanted it, I still would have
Yep.
worked out a shit ton of things. But 30k would have got you your drivetrain, and then you still have to work out how you're going to get in the car, and that involves custom drive shafts, that kind of stuff. Unless you're going to just hijack where your diff is, or just replace everything, north of the transmission.
I suppose that becomes the thing, isn't it? Because you get all the bits and you say, okay, 30 grand. Now, how much more to make it go?
And then once you got it going, how much more to make it comfortable? My heater doesn't work, my AC doesn't work. My
Yeah,
brakes
'cause
are very, very heavy all of a sudden because
Yeah.
there's a vacuum.
Yep.
And then you're like hooking up pumps and shit and concessions.
Electric power steering and
Yeah.
yep, all those things that will drain the battery because there's no reciprocating generator within the car.
It's
that
funny
is-
though.
Yeah.
And so I abandoned the idea. But given how much more common electric cars are getting, I think at some point in the future it might be more cost effective to buy a wreck and just shoehorn everything from that one into that one.
Like a transplant
Yeah, like a wrecked Tesla,
from one. Yeah, right.
even a wrecked Hyundai, a wrecked Polestar, whatever we were talking
Nissan
about.
Leaf or something.
Nissan
Yeah.
Leaf, that'd be a bit slow, but I kind of want ludicrous mode in a 1960s Mercedes. I think it'd be very funny.
Yeah.
And I'll underline it for you, Jay.
Yeah. But I suppose that's the thing, like, because I know someone who's recently bought a 2000s Audi and the engine has had catastrophic failure. Like, so much so that it's going in the bin. The engine is completely detonated.
No shit.
Yep.
What kind of Audi?
It was A3, I think it was, turbo,
Why'd you buy that?
because he's going to electrify it.
That's cool. Okay, no, that's cool.
He's going to put an electric drivetrain in it and make it that way as a project.
That's very
So
cool.
the last couple of days to this video, he's bought the car. There's been photos of it up on social media, and it's going to be electric Audi from the mid 2000s.
Electric Audi, electric Boogaloo, or whatever.
The sequel,
The sequel. I feel like I'm going somewhere with this, but I haven't got the joke fully formed. I'll
electric
come back.
Lamborghini, the sequel.
That's the one. Now,
Yeah,
how much is it going to cost him to get it all done, or has he not got that far?
I think he's priced up a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's gotten to the point where he's got everything that he needs for it. Or, because, I mean, he's pretty handy. So I think he'll be doing a lot of it himself. And apparently you can buy off-the-shelf kits to suit certain cars, or like a generic kit that you make fit a particular car or whatever.
Well, I think
it stands to reason. There'd be stuff like that around, because otherwise you'd have these cars that would never ever see the light of day again. They'd just be crushed and move on, much like how RX-8s are. I mean,
Yeah. Well, Ford does that electric crate motor now.
do they?
Yep.
What motor is it?
I can't remember, but it's an electric motor.
Yeah.
electric crate, and you just buy it and it goes in.
What is it for a specific car or?
I think it's similar to one they put in their Mustangs.
Right. Okay. So it's designed for something that's supposed to be front engine rear wheel drive then.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
But that would work perfectly on my Mercedes, but I think even that's $20,000 alone by itself.
What do you get for 20 grand? The engine.
I'd have to cost it up, but yeah. Give me a second, folks. I'm actually going to look this one up because I was quite interested.
Ooh. Sorry. Excuse us. Just a quick.
We'll just cut here and
drinks
we'll
break.
put some music going on.
2 hours later. Nah. I think everyone can see that. Oh. Oh. Oh well.
It's the Ford Illuminator. It was going to go in the F100s. It's a crate engine.
Flash a photo up.
We'll flash it.
No, yeah, I'll flash a photo up.
But yeah, sold out. But it was 480 horsepower, 630 foot-pounds of torque. And I think they're about 20k. And they sold out.
Wow.
Oh no, sorry, very wrong. $3,900 for the motor alone, I think 20k with batteries.
3,900 for an electric motor is not hugely expensive.
No, but that's capable of generating 490 horsepower.
Right.
And when you look at how much a crate LS would cost you, it's in the
More than that.
ballpark, and that's something to think about. It'd be very cool.
Yeah. Look, I'm not at all against the idea of electric cars, but I don't know if it's the answer.
Okay. I think it might be. As we reach peak petrol and people just want to have cars that look and just go.
You might be right. But yeah, I'm not 100% convinced that electric is the answer.
No, fair call.
Mainly because of there's just a lot of things that I think a lot of people haven't considered. The environmental impact for one, the cost, the infrastructure, all that sort of stuff. And the thing is, you can't have an electric plane.
They do have electric planes.
Yeah, but you'd never get like a passenger airliner to be an electric plane.
Why not?
You can't get the range out of it. By the time it gets airborne and then cruises,
Yeah.
and yeah,
With the battery tech we've currently got though.
true.
Considering how fast we've come recently, it might not be out of the question that in 10 years' time we have that battery technology.
Yeah. Oh, look, you might be right.
Who knows? But
I mean, I would probably hazard a guess to say that if we had these super capacitors, might be a better idea than batteries. Can you imagine how long it would take to charge a jumbo jet that was electric powered? I mean, how long does it take to charge a Tesla from full now? Is it 8 hours or something like that, I think, to fully charge it? I think you can do the supercharging thing or whatever, but it's probably not very good for the batteries charging them that quickly all the time. I don't know.
Depends on the tech.
I honestly don't know. I can't imagine it'd be that good for a battery to be supercharging it every single time you charge it. But can you imagine?
With a Boeing though, you'd want to have a whole battery bank you could pull out and just forklift the whole thing out and forklift a new one in that was fully charged.
That's where I think the whole racing thing will be.
Quick change batteries?
Yeah, quick change battery. Where it's literally like some sort of tray module thing that sits underneath the car or in the car, and they just go, zip, pull it out, plonk, new one in, go.
Or even further, it's the whole body, chassis and wheels and everything, so you change tyres and batteries at the same time. Imagine that. Lift the driver and body up, wheel the new one under, boom, boom.
Maybe.
She's out skis.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you might have something there actually.
Who knows? Okay, so you wouldn't electrify the Sigma if you had the choice and it was cost effective?
No, because the car's not worth that much.
It'd be cool though.
Someone's done it to a Starion.
Yeah.
Someone's done it to an MR2. I get the feeling someone's stalking me. They're buying up all the old crap cars that I used to have and then electrifying them. No, anyway.
Do a Stagia next.
For cheap.
I reckon Jeeps have been done.
It probably has in the US, yeah. I doubt here though, but yeah, in the US for sure. Someone's electrified a XJ Jeep Cherokee.
No doubt.
No, I wouldn't do it to something like that because.
And when we say something like that, we're talking about a Chrysler Sigma that's sitting on the hoist.
Yeah, the one. Yeah.
Sorry guys, we've been very rude.
That one.
That one.
You've seen it before. It's in the other videos. It's my Scorpion. You've seen it.
It's on the hoist.
Yep. So I guess, I don't know, it's a hard one because you'd want to start with something that didn't cost a lot of money to buy as a car already, but then you'd have to be prepared to, I know. What about your brown Land Cruiser?
Merc.
Yeah.
If I could get the range out of the Land Cruiser to go up north with electrics, yeah, I'd do it.
Well,
It'd be faster.
Yeah, you'd be able to overtake everyone else and zip, goodbye. No, I guess it's that sort of sweet spot where if the car's worth too much, you don't want to mess with it.
No.
You'd fix it. But then if it's not worth enough, you wouldn't want to spend the money on it.
No, that's true.
Because you'd have to really love the car to drop 15, 20 grand on a car that's worth maybe 2 grand running with its original engine. And I mean, objectively, that Scorpion, despite what I paid for it, it's a $5,000 car. So you're not really going to want to spend that money unless you're mad keen on that project. And I'm not.
It's more a passion project, than anything.
Yeah. I'm not interested in electrifying that car. No. That thing will be loud and rumbly. Yes.
Fair call.
Yeah. So, not that car. But I think I can understand why someone would. Definitely. So anyway, that just brings us back to crap cars. So we were talking
We've
about
gone
we
full
like
circle.
crap cars. I think for me, crap car is just a cheap giggle.
That's pretty much it. Cheap thrills.
I get amazed at how little stuff costs that is so good, objectively, as a car.
Or what people are willing to give away because they perceive it's worth nothing.
Yep.
Like that Toyota Corolla I was given a few years ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it was objectively just needed a bit of TLC, and I had it running no worries. But because it was free, we thrashed the tits out of it.
And someone wasn't interested in trying to spend the money to fix it. So, yeah.
Well, win-win-win.
Yeah.
And then the scrappy gave me $150 for it. So, didn't hurt me at all.
There you go. Hope those chair squeaks don't show up in the audio.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah.
It's like this chair is just...
No, he can't sit still. He's got ants in his pants and he needs to dance.
It's just undiagnosed ADHD.
Is it?
Or something like that. Who knows? Can't sit still, never have been able to.
Nah, that's fine.
Here we are.
Maybe I should have... Yeah, see, I go side to side like that.
That's a good one,
There's
that's
no
a good
squeaking. There's no squeaking.
Just next time dose for an Ambien or something and I'll thank you later.
Either I need to lubricate those chairs again or something.
Whatever's cheaper.
Lubricate something. Right. Okay. Next topic of conversation?
Oh yeah?
This is a good one.
Hit me.
Kit cars.
Yes.
So, and by kit cars, what I mean also is things like replicas. Like, for
Yes.
example, replica Lamborghinis and Ferraris and stuff like that. Yes or no?
This is a good kit car.
It doesn't matter. It can be good, it can be completely crap, it can be any kit car at all.
Yes, I'm for them.
You are?
Yes.
So you would have like a Shamborghini.
No, but I would have a Caterham 7 kit car.
Right, okay.
Or like the Lotus 7s, they call them.
So what you're saying is it depends entirely on the kit car itself?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Well, maybe I wouldn't go for the ones that are built on Volkswagen Beetles or something, but...
No?
No, but like the one that the Cardi's dad has got.
Right. One of them, yeah.
That little kit car it's got the Ford Focus engine in it. It's quick as, it weighs absolutely nothing.
Right.
Fantastic car. Perfect.
I've yet to see that car. I should really see it. Yeah. So that, and even the orange one's good too.
Yeah, the Lotus.
Yes.
I think they're fantastic. One day it'd be fun to have one.
It's a very expensive toy.
Yeah.
Objectively, a very expensive toy.
But if you're into racing, it's also a very cheap way to get into racing. And be competitive. You'd have a very competitive car for about 30k.
If you're doing things like motorcarnas and things like that, or point to points or something like that, yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
It'd be a great car.
Yeah. I look at the price though, and I think I could buy a car for that.
Yeah, but how much would it then cost you to make that car as competitive as a kit car?
I don't know. For me, I think I understand the appeal 100%. 100% I understand the appeal. After having driven an Aerial Atom, my God, I mean, that effectively is a kit car, because it's not really a car. It doesn't really fulfill the needs of an average car. My God, those things are ridiculous cars. Would I own one? No, because it's a very expensive toy. I think the really tragic kit cars are the ones that emulate something more expensive.
Yeah, and I don't like that. Unless it's like really, really well done, but even then, why bother? Just enjoy how the car was in its base form.
Yep.
Like MR2s look good as MR2s, not as Ferrari.
Yes, agreed. I mean, we know someone who has one of these kit car
The
projects.
Lamborghini.
Yes.
Which will never see the light of day, so it's okay. I'm calling you out, Alex.
I'm not a fan
Okay.
at all, unless it is a kit car that is an original.
No, I agree with that.
So I'll flash a photo up, and it is of the. Oh, now I forgot the name of it. It's a GTM. Project 50. No. This is bad. I had it in my head and now it's gone.
We'll be right back. What was it?
It looks like a supercar.
Okay.
So I'll flash a photo up now because I'll work it out, obviously. So yeah, one of these cars.
Yep.
He talks like he knows what the hell he's
That we're
talking
talking
about.
about. Of course, the car we've been talking about.
Yes, because it looks, it looks spectacular, basically, and it's an original. It's not something that is like based on something else.
Mm.
And I guess really for that very reason, Factory 5. Factory 5.
I still don't know what that is. Have you got a
Factory
photo?
5. All right. Bear with me. Sorry. Talk amongst yourselves.
We'll be back. Or maybe we won't be, I don't know.
Okay, so you can have a quick.
Give us a quickie. Oh, yeah.
So you do see, like, I suppose, nods to other more expensive cars in it.
Yeah.
But it is itself its own design. It's not based on anything specifically. So it's not a Lamborghini kit car or a Ferrari kit car or a Lotus kit car or anything like that. It is an entirely original design that I approve of. Because much like those Ultima GTRs and things like that,
Yeah.
which effectively are kit cars as well, you can buy them ready-made from the factory, or you can buy them as a kit and build them yourselves and put whatever engine you want. You buy, I think you buy the ancillaries and stuff that are designed for a particular engine in mind. Like all of those Ultima GTRs are designed for LS engines. So they've got LS1s, 2s, or whatever it is in there. These things, much the same way. So in the same vein, you buy it, and what you buy with it is dependent upon which engine you're going to put in it, or if they're supplying the engine for you or whatever. But yeah, those things definitely. But when it's based on something else that is more expensive, and you're trying to fake it, no, not a fan.
How about, though, the Porsche kit cars of the really old Porsches?
You mean like the 550 speeders and 356,
Yes.
like James Dean's and stuff like that?
Yep.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen some really good versions of those as kit cars.
Look, okay. So objectively, again, I'm going to use that word a lot.
Objectively?
I look at these cars and think, yes, it's well executed. Would I have one? Do I like it? No.
I'd own one of those 356 kit cars.
Would you?
They look so good. But I agree, they're not the same as what they could have been. But I couldn't afford the original. Not even if I was a billionaire would I think about it. Well, maybe if I was a billionaire. No.
I suppose maybe I haven't found something that is special or spectacular enough based on something else to make me say, yes, I'd have that.
Very cool.
But then, me being me, the original is always usually better anyway.
Yeah, but those Porsches are just kit cars. There's nothing,
Yes.
there's no base on them, I think. Or maybe a Volkswagen Beetle at some point.
Yeah, they were a Beetle. They were a converted Beetle, basically.
Okay.
So they were a Beetle chassis with engines and stuff. Because I think 1.5s, 1.6s or something
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
very,
Yeah.
not that big.
And things like, the Australian Purvis Eureka is a kit
Yeah.
car as well. But it's based on a Volkswagen, but it is its own car.
Yes.
So they're okay. I don't particularly want one, but I'm happy that they exist because it is its own car, even though it's based on something else.
How about like the Shelby Cobras?
Nah.
No, fair cool.
No. I mean, I don't mind Cobras, but Cobras are not on my bucket list of cars, for example. Like, the Daytona coupes, different story. And this Factory 5 group, they do, I think their biggest seller is like those Daytona replica Cobras
Yeah.
or whatever. But I'm not interested in those either. They look good, don't get me wrong. I like the look of them, they look spectacular, but it's not something that I would own.
No worries.
And I won't judge anybody who owns them, but I don't. It's not for me. I don't think. I just think that perhaps I guess I am judging because I think they're a bit tragic.
Very judgmental, yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I think the crappy kit cars that look obviously like a shit replica with poor fiberglass. I don't like those, but if you hand
Yeah.
metal and if you have a proper metal kit car, then I think it's a pass in my book.
Well, okay. So one of the YouTubers I watch, Hello F Spot. If you happen to see this video, probably not, but hello anyway. I'll send a link. Put a link in his channel below. One of his frequent collaborators has his own YouTube channel, and he bought my shaped Celica,
Okay.
but as a Ferrari F430
Yeah, right.
looking thing. And obviously it looks wrong, but if you look at it, say from a distance, it looks like a Ferrari. Then you get up close and it's like, it's too high in places. It's not wide enough in other places. It just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
And he's been cruising around in that. And he's taken it to like expensive car shows and stuff and fooled a couple of people, and they've looked at it and they've gone, okay. And because obviously F430s are mid-engined and this isn't, it's front engine and it's front wheel drive.
That'll do it.
Yeah. So it gives the game away almost immediately. And also the interior, you open the interior up and it's very clearly not a Ferrari interior.
No.
It doesn't matter how many Ferrari logos you stick on the car, it does not make it a Ferrari. And you're never going to convince anybody.
No.
Because there are Ferrari logos all over this thing and it's just
I think
funny.
kit cars are the intent to fool people to be something it's not. I don't know. But then I guess I'm being a hypocrite because I like the 356s. But anyway, I'm for them if they're done well. If they're executed nicely, I'm a fan because it's a cool car and you can make some really quick kit cars.
Yeah. I could see that. It's just not for me.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway, that's it, I think. We're about that time. Let's keep it under an hour this time, maybe.
Sounds good to me. I think we're running out of things.
So, oh no, we've got plenty more to talk about.
Wait,
That's
really?
for another show.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's for another show. So, thank you, like, share, subscribe, and all that sort of stuff. And thank you, Blair. Love your work as always.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Good chats, of course, mate. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Absolutely, of course. So, thank you, and catch you next time.
See you later.
Bye.